While Maine Life continues to celebrate lifestyle, the Maine Business Show focuses on the people, the ideas, and the industry that connect our communities and build Maine's economy.
From family-owned businesses to statewide employers, we are taking you behind the scenes to show you what it's really like to do business in Maine. The Maine Business Show is presented by SAPI, global leader in sustainable solutions, proudly supporting Maine jobs, innovation, and the future of business. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Maine Business Show. We are so excited to bring you to Southern Maine in this episode to highlight so many amazing businesses doing some pretty incredible work. And although we are in the woods right now, we are headed to the ocean for our first segment, which is actually our Rooted in Good segment as well.
This is a segment where we highlight incredible organizations that are doing really impactful work in their communities. We are going to start by visiting Lift All Boats, which is a program that was started by Luke's Lobster, and they work with students, kids who don't typically have access to the working waterfront, and they show them all the skills and what they need to know to get into the lobstering industry.
Such a great program. Let's check it out.
Lift All Boats is a mentorship program for students who don't have traditional connections to the lobster industry to help them understand the amazing opportunity in lobstering, come out, learn to lobster, and feel like they belong on the water in a way that would allow them to pursue a career here if they choose. A few years ago, we noticed that there were a lot of lobstermen out on the water who were complaining that they couldn't find young people interested in working those sternman positions on their boat. And that's really necessary for them to be able to go out and fish safely. And we also knew that there was a huge community of young people who live right by the water, but don't feel like they would know where to begin with a career on the water. So we thought people in these communities just need somebody to show up with an invitation and with a low pressure way for them to learn. So we reached out to folks in our local public high schools, had conversations about whether or not they thought their students would be interested in working on the water. And in 2022, we found 4 young folks who were excited to get out and push their boundaries and try something new. They had an amazing experience. They went back and told their friends. And this year, 2025, we had 30 students who signed up to go on the water. And we actually had 33 on the waiting list because we maxed out our capacity at 30 for this year.
I didn't really have an interest in lobstering. I don't think I've ever been on a boat even before the program or anything like that. So it was like a huge step from in my first year to now. We were learning how to behave on the boat, but also how to like fish lobsters as well. So it was like learning a bunch of new stuff altogether.
There have been a lot of barriers that our students have that I wasn't aware of. One of them was actually being afraid of the water, which for folks living in Maine who grew up here, that sounds crazy, but a lot of folks who don't grow up in this seafaring culture actually have a fear of the water. And then also there's just so many logistical barriers. You know, these folks have parents who are working 2, 3 jobs. They definitely can't give their kids a ride to and from. They're not there to necessarily give their kids a meal when they need it. So to make sure that we're able to provide that transportation, to feed everybody who comes down for a shift on the water, to make sure we do what it takes to get them down here and give them this experience, that's what it's all about. These kids really deserve it. And a typical day for these students, they get down here, they go into the bait shack and get on their gear, and then we just get out there on the water. So we'll go out and we just get fishing. We try to maximize the amount of time that they get on the water, learning the basic functions of lobstering and developing that skill. They learn all the sustainability regulations that our fishery follows, so minimum size, maximum size, V-notching eggers, all of that, you know, they learn from day one. Then they're gonna bring their catch back in, and then they'll sell right here at our buy station at market price. So they learn the economics of how the industry works as well.
I'm more informed about the industry, just about division of labor and understanding what your role is. So it's more of like everybody's doing something, everybody feels involved, and everybody's helping each other. If someone needs a breather or anything, we let each other know. It's like, all right, you can go and sit down for a little bit, we'll take over from here. I think people who I've worked with are really amazing people, and it's allowed me to be more involved in these people's lives, to just know like how they do their own work or their own type of living, and it's a really cool thing. Lift All Boats is definitely something I would recommend to anybody who would like to delve their feet into the world of lobstering. Definitely. I greatly recommend it.
Lift All Boats began as a kind of a side project within Luke's Lobster, and just this year we became our own entity and we got a 501c3 certification, so we get to raise more outside funds. So we're definitely looking for support from folks in the community who think this is a good idea and want to see it blossom. Yeah, exciting moment of growth and evolution for the program. This program has been really inspiring to me, and so to watch them and see how quickly they pick it up and the enthusiasm they develop and the courage they have really actually inspires me to be better as well. It's just been such a joy for me to get to spend time with them, teach them and learn from them at the same time.
Such an awesome program, and it was really fun to be on the water with the students and watch them actually lobstering.
Yeah, it's really cool to see those skills like actually out there on the water. Speaking of, we were just going down the street for our next business to the New England Ocean Cluster at what they call the Hoos, and it's a waterfront collaborative workspace. We're going to hear about what the Ocean Cluster does, but also the small entrepreneurs and businesses that they help there.
The New England Ocean Cluster's mission is to support blue economy development through the intentional connection of people. We're not subject matter experts or researchers, but our goal is to make the entrepreneurial process a bit easier through the creation of community. So we have a place in Portland here, the Hoos. This is a collaborative work environment with lots of like-minded people. So there's not a lot of places like this in Maine, or not a lot of places like this in Portland. It's an adapted Scandinavian model that we took from our partners at the Iceland Ocean Cluster in Reykjavik and brought it here because the Iceland Ocean Cluster started up to support a lot of similar type businesses that rely on things like fishing and natural resources. Those types of businesses are very challenging to start up. So in Iceland and here at the New England Ocean Cluster, we work really hard to help entrepreneurs build relationships with elected officials, other business leaders who have done things similar to them in different ways. And we work really hard to bring institutional academic capacity to the desk of an entrepreneur. The University of Southern Maine, which is where our Office of Commercialization has recently been established, has a lot of infrastructure that can support entrepreneurs trying to figure things out like, what is my materials, physical characteristics? How can I test a composite that I want to use for perhaps one of my marine vessels that I'm working on? So Viable Gear and Katie Weiler came to us through the Science and Technology School at the University of Southern Maine. And what we wound up doing was helping her engage with some early stage material development exercises at the university.
Viable Gear has developed a seaweed-based bioplastic to replace traditional plastics for food harvesters. Founder Katie Weiler came up with that idea after witnessing the impact of plastics on the environment here in Maine.
I moved back to Maine in 2019 and was up in Penobscot Bay where I grew up on some of our islands that are uninhabited that I grew up going to, and one of them just concertedly had so much more trash than I originally had remembered, and a lot of it was ghost gear. So ghost gear is the plastic pollution from our fishing and aquaculture industries, and there wasn't a lot that people were doing working on kind of biodegradable fishing gear. It's not on the food harvester, whether you're a lobsterman or you're growing tomatoes. It's not your fault that all of this plastic exists and that's what you're using. It's what you have to rely on at this point. So how do we come up with a solution for you? How do we say, like, you could use plastic or there's an alternative now, so you don't have to have microplastics shedding into our waters and getting into our food systems. We're launching or have launched a rebrand and have our pre-sale live on our website right now. The initial product is a twine that we call sea twine, and we're launching it for agriculture and farming. So trellising twine, tying tomatoes, tying cucumbers, whatever you want to trellis that needs to be reinvigorated with twine at some point is what we're targeting, and that includes hops and all sorts of fun crops and people who we've talked to are going to be using our twine.
It's difficult to cover the multitude of resources and programs that the New England Ocean Cluster offers, but their dedication to innovation in the blue economy means that today's most promising ideas have a chance to become tomorrow's solutions.
I definitely attribute being a part of the incubator here to our success and why we have sea twine now.
In Maine, the story of Sappy begins here, among the trees. Every tree, carefully selected and managed, is the first chapter in creating some of the finest paper and packaging products globally.
From the forest, the journey continues here to Skowhegan, where for 50 years, the mill has transformed raw materials into high-quality coated paper, packaging boards, and specialty products trusted by global brands. Here, technology and tradition work side by side. The mill houses two of the most advanced paper machines in the world, resulting in sustainable products that are made more efficiently using approximately 80% renewable energy, ensuring every step is efficient, precise, and consistent.
Sappy doesn't just make paper here. We support thousands of Maine families and communities, helping drive Maine's economy forward. Sappy is a proud sponsor of the Maine Business Show, and we are proud to call Maine home.
Portland's working waterfront is a vital part of the city's history, identity, and economy. And as Portland continues to grow, a new vision for the waterfront is coming into focus. For this next story, we'll hear from developer Jonathan Cohen, who is thoughtfully reimagining spaces across the city. Quincy joined Jonathan on the site of one of his latest projects.
We're standing right now at 144 4th Street, which will be the future site of Madrid's. Back in the day, you couldn't find a place to host your events. This is great because it's going to be something that allows all the different businesses in the area to use, from a smaller size when they have one room to the full facility, which will get them, I think, 800 standing and 600 seated. So it's very exciting for everybody in Portland. Growing up in Portland, one of the things I always loved the city, and I really wanted to see opportunity in the city. I wanted to see jobs and everything else stay here. And so I had the opportunity to buy the Ocean Gateway Garage back in 2015. And at that time, I met someone who went on to be a partner of mine for a while, was Ara F. Tendillian, who was quite a visionary. He was responsible for the Residence Inn Hotel, the AC Hotel, 20 Thames Street. So when I bought the Ocean Gateway Garage, there was an opportunity for WEX, who was looking for a new world headquarters. And we were able to make a deal with the city so we could put WEX headquarters where it is today. And part of that deal was we had to build another building where the Rue Institute sits right now. So I'm a big believer in this part of the city and has breathed so much new life into Portland in the technology sector. And just I really look forward to seeing what the future brings.
So we really are in the heart of downtown right here, just kind of like in the lively spot of Portland. In the last 10 minutes, we've heard the narrow gauge go, we've heard the cruise ships blast their horns. I think 3 planes have gone overhead. It's just, there's so much activity down here on this side of India Street. It's like a different city than it was 5 years ago.
Absolutely, and you can even, if we walk up this road, you'll see all the vendors who come in, all the local vendors who come in when the cruise ships are in town. You'll see the Drift Collective, which is located next to Brickyard Hollow. Both of those businesses didn't exist 5 years ago, and yeah, it's really nice. Speckled Axe is up here, AC Hotel. It's a beautiful area. A lot of local Maine businesses doing really well. We're really excited to have Madrid's. We had a lot of conversations with them and understand their space they want to operate within. So we're very excited for it. And we still need a major convention center in the city, which has been tried but not successfully delivered yet.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to take an adventure with rugged capability and commanding style. From the Kelley Blue Book Best Value brand. Hurry into your Honda dealer today.
For over 153 years, Kennebec Savings Bank has been a community bank for everyone. Whether it's providing convenient account access, quick and easy loan process, or supporting the community, our goal is to create lasting relationships rooted in trust and respect. It's always been about integrity and doing what's right for the customer and our communities. I'm Andrew Silsby, and I invite you to come into a Kennebec Savings Bank location and experience the difference.
When the lights turn on, it's go time. Start your engines. Music blasting, lifts rising, lug nuts turning. Nice. We believe in easier car buying. Just ask your neighbor. We're not just a dealership. Our New England roots demanded more, so we built a team of dreamers to keep you driving. We are Berlin City, where life is easier.
Now we are headed up the road to Falmouth, where Jonathan's focus shifts from city development to community connection. He's helping build a stronger sense of place where businesses and neighbors can thrive together. Jonathan is joined by our very own Falmouth resident, Aaron O'Valley, who has watched this project grow from the ground up.
Hi.
Hi, Aaron. Welcome back to the Wyeth and the shops at Falmouth Square.
Thank you. It is great to be back, and it's great to share with all of you all of these new businesses that I frequent and love.
In 2017, when we purchased the center, we saw there was 40% vacancy and just a tremendous amount of opportunity that could be created here. I just kept thinking, they have this vision for a village center, but nobody is doing it. So when the opportunity came, I thought, time to do it, so I did. During one of those challenging times for any developer, which was 2020, we were very happy that we were able to land Sicilian Table as well as Chase Bank so that we could really get going on the new development and growth that we created here in Falmouth. Just about a year after we finished getting 241 and 261 completed, Steve came in and he wanted to take an opportunity on some of our remaining 40 acres to build these two projects, which is the shops at Falmouth Square. It's 269 and 267 US Route 1, as well as the Wyeth condos. So we let him do that, and then once he got it all approved, he had us come back in to help with the development of it and the construction. And then Steve and Compass, yet again, are the economic drivers for Falmouth, and he put in all 14 tenants, 8 of which are female-owned businesses. One of my favorite things about here is my office is in one of the newer buildings, and I'm on the top floor and I have a balcony. So I get to sit out on my balcony and I get to look at all the activity that happens every day. I look at a parking lot that was empty when we bought it that's now full all the time. When I get hungry, I can walk over and I can go to Jaffa, I can go to Luna, I can go to Sapporo, I can go to Sicilian Table, or I can go to the Forsyth House of Pizza. You know, it's really just wonderful to be able to know that everything is here now and we see people enjoying it on a daily basis.
Including myself.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Maine Business Show. We are wrapping up today's segment by heading back to the water, and we're going to go pay Handy Boat a visit.
That's right. They are Maine's largest anchorage. They are a full-service boatyard. There's a restaurant. They're a marina. A lot goes on there. We were able to catch them when they were pulling moorings out of the water, which was really cool to see behind the scenes. So we're excited to show you down in Handy Boat.
What a gorgeous day we have today in Casco Bay.
It is gorgeous down here. I'm lucky enough to call this my office each and every day. I've been doing this for about 6 years, and we're excited to get you guys out here and show you a little bit about what we do best.
Oh, I'm excited. Thank you.
Handy Boat, located here in Falmouth, Maine, was started in 1934 as a boatyard and an access point for many of the commercial fishermen in the area, as well as some of the recreational boaters. It wasn't to the scale or scope that it is today, but it acted as a service point for some of the commercial fishermen in the area, as well as the small amount of recreational boaters back then, and it over time has grown into what it is today, which is a fantastic spot on Casco Bay to access the water. We have about 316 members here that get access through our facility. We work on just about 300 boats throughout the course of the year. We store 150 of them here on site between indoor and outdoor storage. We have several technicians on staff full-time that work on everything from engine service to varnish to rigging. And then we have a mooring service where we touch about 380 moorings throughout the course of the year. We change over all of them every fall and reinstall them every single spring. And that's the long and the short of handy boat service. Although we do not have slips like a traditional marina, yes, we offer similar amenities to what a marina would offer, but it's a slip-based service where people can get to their boats via our launches. Whether they be members of ours or members of other local access points, the Town Landing or Portland Yacht Club, they're still able to get a service through us from a mooring standpoint. And yeah, we have a barge that we run year-round, whether it be doing winter changeovers to pull all the balls out of the water, or whether it be middle of the summer doing dock work, ramp work, anything that falls under that purview of our kind of mooring team. I started working at Handy Boat in 2020. Always lived in the area, grew up in Cumberland myself. Always had a unique fondness for the water. It's been an incredible experience for me. We try to give our team as much upward mobility as possible. It's unique because it's a small team. At the end of the day, it's not a conglomerate, it's not a Fortune 500 company. Finding opportunities for our team to continue to grow and stay fulfilled is definitely one of the trickier things we run into. So a lot of our guys, their passion is boating, and that allows us to kind of retain some people, definitely. We're fortunate. They love boats, they love working on boats, they love being on the water. The process in the fall for hauling our mooring balls out, we'll take one of these pennants, we will attach them to our crane. We pull the mooring ball up. Underneath there's about 50 feet of chain that attaches the mooring ball to an anchor that sits on the bottom of the ocean. We pull it up just enough to get access to the chain, where we'll tie it off, we'll put the ball on deck, and at that point there's shackles that attach the center chain through that mooring ball to the chain that goes to the bottom. The bottom chain is attached to we call them mushrooms, but they're big anchors at the bottom. They sit in the bottom of the ocean, they kind of dig into the mud, and that's where you get kind of your holding power. A few people use big 5,000-pound blocks. We don't use a lot of those. We find the mushrooms for our setup work a lot better. Fine. We'll put 50 feet of pop warp, which is a traditional lobstering line.
Yeah.
We've put 50 feet of pop warp, and then we tie a log to that pop warp and the chain. We'll send the chain to the bottom of the ocean. It sits in the mud, doesn't oxidize through the course of the winter. By the second week of November, all of these boats will either be up out of the water, or they would headed south, or other accommodations. A few boats do stay in the water in Portland on wet slips throughout the course of the winter.
Okay.
And yeah, all of these mooring balls will be up and out of the water, and there will just be a bunch of buoys and logs floating around, indicating where they're supposed to be next spring.
A lot of work ahead of you.
Yeah, it is.
I gotta see this cruddy stuff.
The creepy crawlies?
The creepy crawlies.
That was my favorite part, is still getting out, working on the boats, getting them in and out of the water. Talking to our customers they're fantastic.
Yeah.
Super nice people, always excited to be here, always very thankful for what we're able to provide them.
When someone calls us to help sell their home, it's never just about the sale. It's about the stories inside those walls, the memories, the letting go, and the looking ahead. When Kathy reached out, we didn't start with the numbers, we started with a cup of tea and time. We talked about her neighborhood, her family, what her place meant to her, and what kind of future she imagined next. This is the part I love, not just the home, but the people. I've built a team that feels the same way. Sometimes the work turns into friendship, and that friendship lasts longer than the paperwork. I'm Charlene. This is Harcourts, and this is what matters to us.
And that's going to do it for this episode. It was great to feature so many amazing businesses in Southern Maine.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you back here next time on the Maine Business Show.
The creepy crawlies?
The creepy crawlies. Yuck. Why is it fuzzy?
Ew, what are those?
Oh, these?
Yeah, the jelly things.
They're little sea squirts.
Ew, what is that? You're so close. No, you were Go pay handy,
Okay,
bro.
yeah, I know.
Surrounded by the WEX headquarters on one side, the narrow gauge railroad on another side. Quincy, so now we're standing at 144 4th Street, which is the future site of Madrid's, which